thanks for this little introduction. Thank God I finished my nettle tea, so maybe we can change to wine. What do you think?
Super. Good idea. Good idea.
So
Um,
you send me 4 beautiful wines, and you tell me which one to go first with.
I would love to start with Haloze Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the right one. Haloze is, as I mentioned before, Haloze is some kind of a village level. It's a sub-region in Steierska, Slovenia. It has about I think not 1,000 hectare, about 900 to 950 hectares, and it's the Haloze Blanc is named after the region where it grows. It's the typical blend of the region. In each wine cellar, when you come there and taste wines, you find this kind of blend. Blend out of Furmint, Sauvignon Blanc, and yeah, Laschke Riesling.
Laschke Riesling, can you tell me about this? Because if at first some people read this on the label, they maybe just got scared. What is it?
Laschke Riesling is Weltriesling. Yeah. Or Olaf Riesling or Riesling Italico. So it's the same. It just has it's the Slovenian name for Welsh Riesling.
Yeah, which also have a great relevance or presence in South area, right? But also with the name Welsh Riesling.
Welsh Riesling, yes. And also in the northern part of Slovenia, in Steierska, Welsh Riesling is by far the most planted variety. Yeah. So also for easy drinking wines, but also for in some regions you can get very, very interesting stuff out of the variety. And Haloze Blanc is it's for our winery a perfect way to show the region, to tell the people what Haloze stands for, and it's about 40% Sauvignon Blanc, 40% Furmint, and 20% of Laschke Riesling. So the wine is fermented in big oak casks. We kept the wine on full yeast for about 12 months. Then for another 4 to 6 months in stainless steel, just to settle down. And the wine, this particular 2019, was bottled a few weeks ago. So we do no influence, we do no filtration, we use no enzymes, no yeast, no bentonite, nothing, just a little hint of, or a little bit of sulfur direct before bottling. Yeah.
So that's basically a natural wine, so to say.
Yes, or natural wine. I don't know if it's the right term. I'm more classic in winemaking, I think. I want to have the focus on the terroir, on the origin, and I want just to get the best out of the grapes and the best into the bottle, and that's the way I figured out it is the more original of Haloze taste. And yeah, I think there are a lot of different ways to make great wine. For me, it's this the way I want to make it. Yeah. I'm not a fan to influence too much, because every time you pump the wine or you do something, you feel that something is going on, and normally not in the better way. So I try to keep as much as possible the hands off. It's just the wine before it comes into the bottle, it's just pumped 2 times and not more. For sure, if something goes wrong in the cellar and if it gets too stinky or something like this, for sure I have to rack it, okay. But when it goes the normal way, I do just 2 times. Once when I rack it in January, no, sorry, in
January.
1 year after harvest out of the barrel, and then the next time direct before bottling. So 2 times of maximum of wrecking the wine.
So you leave him alone, so to say?
No, it's not leave him alone. I think it's more also to control. I taste my wines, I think once or 10 days. I'm in the cellar and taste all wines or barrels. I make notes. I really want to understand the wine. Sometimes when it's a phase where the wine has it shows him not very well. I have to rethink what we did in the vineyards, what how the vintage was. Then I can decide what I do. Normally, we just do nothing and stay and wait, and then the wine comes back and shows good in 2 or 3 weeks later. It's all gone. Bad things are gone, and it tastes good again. And that's the evolution process of the wines. From our winery or from a lot of wineries, some yeah they have good phases, they have bad phases, and then when it comes to get that they are clear, that it's stable, then normally it's the right time to sulfur or even to bring it to the bottle.
Mm. And this is also the traditional way how Slovenians used to make this kind of traditional blend, or
I have no idea. I don't. I think this is the way where they made wines or good wines all over the world. Not to trust in that what you do in the vineyards, and don't influence too much in during winemaking. For sure, always the winemaker's hand is also very important in when it comes to taste, to terroir and everything. But when I talk to winemakers which wines I love, it's nearly the same way. It's more or less just to get as much from the vineyard side into the bottle. And so when you influence too much, it doesn't matter if it's with yeast or with enzymes or with cooling or with I don't know what, you lose a little bit of his own identity.
How would you describe this wine? I'm curious what is maybe your idea about this wine, or you taste which kind of notes do you take about the wine? Because you said you take notes. What kind of notes would you take?
I'm I'm really bad in wine descriptions because I'm winemakers. I think taste wines totally different than wine writers or sommeliers or yeah, even clients who just drink wine. I always taste the wine, and for me, is the structure is very important. Also the length of the wine, then the knows if it's complex or not, but I'm not good in telling you which fruit or which stone it smells like. But for me, for sure, Haloze Blanc or the region Haloze is a region where you have very spicy wines, a lot of firework is going on in the mouth. Very this yeah the yeah, it's I think you can when you have this stone, this opok, and you smell or lick it, it's has the same taste as the wine has in the back. So it has high content of acidity, what's also very nice, I feel, and a lot of tannins or phenols when you have it in it. This is also very typical for Haloze, that the wines have a lot of structure, a lot of phenols, high acidity, moderate in alcohol, and yeah, that's what Haloze tastes like. Yeah.
Yeah, I can really confirm that. And one more thing that I would say, it's a spiciness is really for their grundig. Yeah, so it's really dominates the flavor and also the nose. So to be honest, I really don't like too fruit-driven wines, and that's why I really like your wines, because it's very spicy already in the nose. And the texture, I think, is really what defines a great white wine, because it's still very animated and very light, very vibrant, but still has substance. And but still, I feel that it's not a heavy wine, or it's not too much alcohol. I think how much alcohol does it? 12.5% alcohol, but still it has so much to offer. It's not overripe, as you can see it in the glass. It's nowhere to be gold or anything like that. So it's just the perfect ripeness and a little bit of aromas what Sauvignon Blanc has. I think it's maybe a little bit of greeniness, but also what Fourmint and Sauvignon Blanc has, this long cooling acidity, just keeps
Yeah.
squeezing the wine towards the back of your mouth and like kind of, I don't know, it's like kind of stretching the whole experience. I can still taste it. Yesterday we drank actually this wine with some stuffed broccoli, with some berkäse, so with some cheeses, and also with some sauerrahm, so like a, yeah, like a stuffed cheese kind of with bacon.
Super.
And it had a lot of protein and a lot of fat, but still the wine could bear it. So I think that's a very good attribute what this wine has. It's a very versatile food companion, I would say.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the people hear that you're a professional and describe the wine much better than I do, but I absolutely go conform with you. The wine has is a perfect match to different foods. Also, when you have a lot of fat in the food, because the acidity is very high. But all of our wines do a malolactic fermentation. That's also important. When you keep them that long in barrel without doing anything, malolactic happens. And I'm also a fan of malolactic fermentation when only when the fruit or the grape is absolutely ripe in terms of balance, not overripe, not underripe. It's always about the balance. That's what I'm looking in the vineyard sites, in the growth, then also in the wines. That's for me the most interesting part when you drink wines and you feel it's all in balance. And also, as you mentioned, for Sauvignon Blanc and Fourmint, I love these two varieties because on one hand of the acidity, but on the other hand, they're so different, absolutely different in the vineyards or even in the cellar. But what these two varieties can show very well is the origin, where it grows. Fourmint is for me absolutely balanced variety when you have it on the right spot in the right treatment in the cellar, and Sauvignon Blanc is more it's more firework always, and to combine these two varieties in some wines we do that. It shows something very well.
Mm. And what was the consideration behind planting Fourmint or focusing actually on Fourmint? Why Fourmint?